Alright guys, today on Shoky Review we have what's near the end of all of the IBO reviews. I know you're sad, you're tired of them. I'm not. So, here we have the Graze Ritter Carta edition. That's kind of a weird, slight misnomer because even though this is Carta'S Graze Ritter, you can still sort of build the regular Graze Ritter, so I don't even know why they bother. They could have just said, it's a Graze Ritter, and hey, you can build Carta'S too, but it's okay. We're not going to go into that right now. If you watch the series, you know Carta has come along since they got to Earth, and well, she's been a big pain in her butt, and vice versa. So she takes her small band of special forces units, and well, they're all based off of this version of the Graze, which, as you can tell, is well pretty different from the standard one. And let's go ahead and take a look at the box art for that. And you can see here, she's got a weird, almost Roman kind of look going on. So you get the nice little red mohawk on the head crest there, and you get the shoulder armor that looks incredibly familiar. Yep. But one thing that's really neat, you get this cool sword. It's one thing I really dig about these particular Grazes is that sword. But we'll talk about that more when we get to actual kit. Because here, you got the normal IBO banner there. You get a great shot of Carta there with her really weird eyebrows and the red makeup, face paint. Not entirely certain. And then you come down here, Iron-Blooded Orphans, and you get the Japanese version of Carta'S Graze Ritter down there. We flip the box, and comes up here. You get the action shot. You can see she's holding the sword. Isn't that beautiful how that sword looks like that, guys? Nope. Anyways, great shot there. Come here, and it's got the awesome Graze gun, and it has the Graze axe as well. We'll talk about that later. I'm guessing this is knee articulation it's showing off. That's something I don't think they've bothered showing before. And of course you see here, you got the Graze eye inside. And here we get the shoulder articulation. And of course, the ability to have the shoulders spread out like that. That's pretty neat too. Another cool action shot of her right there. And you get these shoulders all spread out. I really do dig this shoulder armor. It's pretty cool. I guess you come here. You see a little bit of the backpack and the sword there, which is, okay, so you see this shot where it's got these? Come over here and it's gone. That's weird. I just now noticed that. So in these later shots, these aren't in here. Maybe this is when they're still in space they were using these, because I know the normal Graze does, in fact, use those. And of course, you come here and you get the customize, as usual with an IBO kit. It shows using the Barbatos 6th form shoulders and this little bitty head crest to make a standard Graze Ritter, but of course you see that there is a major problem with doing that. All you get is white shoulders when they're supposed to be this color. But that's neither here nor there. That box is coming open. Alright, come around this side and you see it the same at the top box art. You get it the number 17 in this series, which is, you know, honestly, it's getting close to the end. They don't have a whole lot left. We get BandaiHobby.net, which is usually over here, isn't it? Am I crazy? Or is that just... No, I think it's normally over here. Then you get the Bandai emblem on the corner. We come back here to the front and rear image, and once again, it's the same on both, unlike Barbatos. And once again, it shows it without the backpack there. So maybe it's a weird custom touch, or like I said, maybe it's because when they came to Earth, they didn't need that. You got a read up on her there. You get a read up here of it shows Barbatos there when they were in space, running into them. And then you come down here, gtaketsu.com, as usual. And the warnings of don't stick anything in your face because it will kill your 3-year-old. Don't do that. The plastics, you got your polystyrene and your polyethylene. And of course, I love these emblems, mostly because I didn't know what they meant before. Now this still looks like a person in a toilet. I've registered that. This one's back to being 1,200 yen. So this one's a little bit cheaper, because they said, it's a Graze. Ah, look at this. Illustration by Magaki Ryuta. Thank you for coming back. We love your work. And the background images, of course, by Saito Yoshinobu. And you know what the problem is here, guys. It's always upside down. I do love this artwork because you got the extra shots coming in. Because when they did, spoilers, when they dropped in on Earth, they came from the sky, and everybody was shooting up at them. It was actually pretty cool. I do wish this came with the weird re-entry balloons. I don't even know how to really just say that. That'd be cool because they kind of rode some kind of re-entry armor down and then ditched it. It was pretty cool. All right, that's it for the box, guys. Let's move on to the awesomeness that is the Graze Ritter. Alright guys, now we have Carta'S Graze Ritter out of the box, and it is looking very aqua? Teal? Not entirely certain what color that is. What would you call that? So, seafoam green. Maybe it's seafoam green. And I really do like this. If you've been watching, you know I do have an affinity for the Graze kits, and this one is no exception. I love how they can take such a base grunt suit and just keep making it cool. This thing is really the new Zaku, like truly, because of the basic ubiquitousness of it, the customization of it, and just how they keep finding new ways to make it cool. Somebody else using it, making it even better than it already was. And well, we've gone over the basic articulation and stuff of a Graze before. Honestly, this is no different. But let's go ahead and take a close look at the details, because this one is so different. In fact, this is actually a totally different chest piece. This one is different. Now, the Barbatos Form 6 comes with a different chest. Like I said, you can get some of the parts to make this a normal Graze Ritter from the Barbatos 6th form, which includes a brand new chest part right here. It's all gray, and a different head crest that is smaller and does not have the red bit. I do like that this has the cool red mohawk there to really show off that this is a commander. Now this is a sticker. I thought about painting it, I really did, and then I saw how big of a paint it was going to be. Actually, you know, I take it back. This is a sticker on the side. The top edge, because the sticker didn't cover it, I did paint that, and actually got a really close color match there. That's not bad. The red stripe on the head there is a sticker. The Graze viewport camera, I guess, is actually a little sticker there. And unlike the other ones, it's not metallic. It is just a little yellow sticker. And then right here on the chest canister, I don't really know exactly what to call that exactly. That is a yellow sticker there as well. Come over here to the shoulders. Big red sticker there, guys. Once again, didn't feel like painting that entire thing. In fact, this one I didn't do a ton of paint detail. I did quite a few, details on all the previous ones. This one I basically just cleaned it up a little bit and did what just was necessary. A little bit of silver here and there. And come all the way down, of course, you get the lovely high heel Graze feet. As usual, the same articulation as I stated before. Now, a cool detail, of course, as you can't not see this, these giant thigh boosters right here. This whole piece is a brand new molded piece, very similar to the normal normal Graze leg, but then you get these cool little boosters on the side, because when they did encounter these guys at first, they were in space, because they are actually supposed to be the Earth orbit defense guys. And you come up here, the forearm is the same as any normal Graze, but the bicep is totally different. Cool little armor there. I dig that. Of course, you've seen these shoulders before, but they were white and blue. And actually, the Barbatos shoulders are quite a bit shorter. This part is the same, but this is much shorter. So whenever he took the shoulders, it was off a standard Ritter, not off of Carta'S. But if you come inside there, you see they got a little booster up in there. So you can get the light. That's a pretty cool effect, except it falls off. So let's see if I can get that 2-peg right back in there, hopefully, because you get a lot. That's a surprising amount of articulation for just a small piece of armor. Now, one thing I have not done yet is build a normal, like an absolute, just straight up regular Graze, but they do come with these cool little backpack wing boosters, shields, because you can mount these. If I remember correctly, you can mount these things on the arms in a different way, so they can become shields. So it's just neat. And like in the box art, I believe they only used these in space. They didn't use them again after that, because you don't really need to move around that much. They do articulate this way, they swivel this way. Unfortunately, they don't go this way, and that thing just completely fell apart. What the crap? Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. Obviously, I bumped something in the wrong direction. Come back here, and this is the standard Graze butt armor, standard Graze side armor. And like, you get a decent shot of the back here. You just see the, Graze legs, and these armors don't cover anything on the back side. But we talk about some nice detail here because of this ridiculous sword. And of course, that just popped that off too, because why wouldn't it? Cut. I'm just kidding. We don't cut around here, do we? We just keep on rolling. Now watch, I'm going to pop something else off. There we go. I even predicted it as I said it. Get in there. Okay, so now this is becoming a build video as I have to reconstruct this Graze from scratch because it keeps falling apart on me. See, this is what happens when you put your kits away for a few months and you forgot how anything works on them. Stuff just starts falling off because it's protesting about being in a box for a while. Now I'm going to go ahead and set her on the peg here. Get on the peg. That's really strange. Okay, come on. Get on there. You know you want to. That sounds really bad. Never mind. Everything is falling apart today, guys. It's Sunday and nothing wants to cooperate. There we go. Stay while I look at your beautiful sword. Okay, so here we have, after all that fiddling, here we have the Graze Ritter sword, and it is awesome. I love this thing. I love that they went with like an old, European sword style for the most part. You could almost call this thing like an Excalibur. But there's one major problem with this, and it's the major problem that comes with all of the weapons. It's one color out of the box. That's it. This thing was all just straight up dark gray. You can still see it here on the peg. This entire thing, from the silver to the handle, everything had to be painted. And that is a pain in the butt. I mean, I made it look beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I love this sword. But pain in the butt to paint this much. I get that they want to keep the cost low and not have to mold all kinds of things in different colors. But they didn't even give you like a cool sticker, like a chrome or silver sticker to cover the blade. Nothing. This thing was just expected to be left gray. And honestly, that's, I would have rather paid a tiny bit more money to have something a bit more complete. Maybe that's just me. But it does just slide in the normal square peg hand as it do. These shoulder armor pieces are annoying me. One thing I want to do, since we now have an abundance of Grazes laying around, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a comparison. We'll slide Carta to the back here, and we will pull out our big pink friend, the Ryusei Go or Graze Kai 2. And this will show just a little bit of the difference. I mean, you can see just in the chest part. So get a little bit closer here. So the chest part on that one is a bit wider, but also this part, it goes up a little bit stronger. And even though it actually is pretty similar. The crotch piece for some reason doesn't look the same. I guess her ab crunch is preventing things from looking exactly the same. But the legs, obviously from the knees down, exact same armor. These are the standard Graze upper thigh armor, and that's not any different. But I mean, that'll just give you an idea how different the head is, because they really did kind of customize the Graze Kai head, whereas this is very close to a normal everyday Graze armored head. So we'll go ahead and set this guy aside. And if I'm correct, when I built this kit, I think this gun, this Graze gun, is actually hers, because in my box her gun is missing, and I believe her axe is missing. So I believe this guy ended up getting her axe and gun, and they just repainted and repurposed it for him. All I did was just what Taketsu does. I'm sorry, Tekadon. I just borrowed from the enemy that was defeated. And here we have the Schwalbe Graze. So you can see the very big difference between these guys. She's a higher ranking commander than him. So I guess because of that, they can do more custom work. I don't know. The shoulders, obviously extremely different. The thighs, because he went with the big rocket thighs that also have the mount here on the side. Also very, very different. Because for some reason he needs to go backwards more than she needs to go forwards. But her rockets can turn around. What are you going to do about that? He just really wanted his Graze to be very, very custom. This is a mildly customized But I do love the Graze Ritter. It is a cool little kit. Even the color, I dig it. I'm just going to bump the camera again as usual. But I love the fact that they have so many Grazes in so many colors. I mean, we've got the standard green Graze. We've got the Schwalbe Graze, that's a great blue. There's a couple different purple Grazes. I don't own them yet, but there are a couple different custom purple Grazes, one of which is Ein's. You get the Graze Kai. It's another different green. I think it's actually a different green than the standard Graze. We'll get to that eventually. Ryusei Go, that great pink color. This is great. And then, of course, there is one more big-time Graze left to cover, but we will do that in the next review. For right now, I'm going to put the shoulder back together, and we're going to go ahead and get this girl set up on the display. Alright guys, we've got the big old IBO display out here now. We're going to go ahead and get Carta in her spot. I'm going to rotate it this way just a little bit so we can see what's happening, and you get a good shot of Gjallarhorn right up front there. And here she is, the little Spartan Graze for the most part. Now I'm going to have to move Gjallarhorn's shoulder down just a little bit, get her in here. Goes right in there. Let me tilt it just a little bit. Give her a little forward facing shot there. So you can see what's going on here. I'm going to have to move Gjallarhorn just a little bit. It's sort of just in the way. But also this giant lance sort of does that anyways. But there we have it, guys. And go ahead and put this back over here. Hold on. Gjallarhorn, get your... There you go. It's actually kind of... Carta, get your sword out of Gjallarhorn's armor. So, here we go. As usual, guys, we've got the display all good, and we're casting way too many shadows in that direction, but who cares? So this is looking pretty epic, and for the time being I only have one more kit to go in here, and some of you probably can guess what it is already, but that's it for this time in the Graze Ritter Carta IBO kit. Remember, guys, to go ahead and check out the rest of the IBO playlist, the rest of the videos, see how we even got to this point if you haven't already. If you do like these kits, go ahead and check them out wherever you can. They are affordable and awesome. But that's going to be the end of this review. Remember to like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. And keep on building.